समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. Okay, now today we take on verse 7 and says, सर्वभूतानि कौन्तेय प्रकृतिं यान्ति मामिकां कल्पक्षये पुनस्ताने कल्पादौ विसृजाम्यहम्. Now, two verses together. प्रकृतिं स्वामवष्टभ्य विसृजामि पुनः पुनः भूतग्राममिमं कृत्स्नम् अवशं प्रकृतेर्वशात्. The first verse translation is, all beings, O Kaunteya, go into my Prakriti at the end of a kalpa. I send them forth again at the beginning of the next kalpa. The second verse is, animating my Prakriti, I again and again send forth all this helpless multitude of beings by the force of nature. See, now these verses are about creation. The whole thing is going about creation, how it creates, who creates, all that. So here also, the Lord is saying that Gurudev used to say that he is not a creator, he is a contractor. That is what Gurudev used to say. Now, how he is a contractor? What does a contractor do? A contractor carries out your wishes, the plan you give him. Whatever you want to build, he will build it for you, or he will create it for you. So he asks you कि आपको क्या चाहिए, and then he does it. So similarly here, that you, according to your blueprint which you have given to the Lord, he will create. How does that happen? देखिए, we had discussed something called samashti vasana, total mind, what in English translates as total mind. Samashti vasana is the same thing as the Vedantic Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha is the total mind of the people together, put together. So whatever the total mind wants to do, that field has to be created by the creator. If you do not have a field, where do you play out? How do you play out if you don't have a field? So Gurudev used to say that you get what you deserve. The kind of situations you are in today is what you have ordered for yourself through your actions, through your thoughts, action by action, thought by thought. You have chartered this out, that this is what I desire to do. Every action has a reaction. We have done that before. Every thought has also a reaction in your mind. So your mind keeps getting made up of these thoughts and the residue of action, the residues of action. Now that is your mind. Similarly, there is something called the total mind. That means everybody's mind and everybody's desires put together deserves a world where they will be born or they will get a body, and that body, mind, and intellect will help them to carry out what they wish to do. Now, according to your vasanas, the field is created. For example, when you are creating a children's playground, you make it differently. When you are creating an Olympics ka playground, that is different. If it is an Asian Games, it is different. isn't it? Hmm. So that is how, and according to the game being played, a badminton court is different from a football field. A cricket field is different from a tennis court. Isn't that so? Swimming pool is different, this is different. So, according to what you want to do, the Lord is compelled to give you that. He doesn't want to create anything, you demand it. So, the Lord says, Gurudev used to say, okay, take it. Like you give it to a child demands something. You say, chale lo, chalo. So, it is like this. Now, here, see, in whatever you want to buy, you go to that market, right? Uh, if you want to buy a sari, you do not go to a mithai shop or a sweetmeats shop, isn't it? The kind of market you want to go to is the kind of stuff you want to purchase. A man who wants to buy a book is not sitting in a cloth store. There are no books there. So the Lord creates the kind of market where you would like to shop for your desires. So the world that you get in life, the surroundings and situations, the people around you are the ones that you have chosen, you deserve. Even your teacher, you gravitate towards that kind of teacher whose teaching you will understand or is to your standard or is to your liking and your applicability. So you go towards that teacher. Automatically you are drawn to that teacher. So Gurudev used to say these things very clearly, that it is a very clear thing. Now then, here also see, when he says animating my prakriti, I, now I is the, he's talking as the pure Brahman. He says I, he is the pure consciousness. So he says animating my prakriti. Prakriti is dead matter. All the five elements and things made out of those five elements are matter, and matter is inert. We all know matter is inert. So who dynamizes that matter to act intelligently is he himself. So he says, animating my prakriti, I again and again send forth all his helpless multitude of beings. This word helpless, ये देखो यहाँ पे लिखा है, ये जो है ना, प्रकृतिर वशात, हाँ, conditioned by prakriti, helped by prakriti, but vasanas cannot help but express themselves when they are given a field. You must have seen in your own life also, those things that you like, how helplessly are you drawn towards those things? You have no power to resist. Have you seen that? Sometimes when there's a very, very strong desire, what do people say? I have to have this. I must have this. At any cost, I want it. Hai ya nahi? What is that? That is your strong vasana. That is your strong desire that compels you as a driving force towards that particular thing. Have you seen two people in love? No matter the whole world will try to pull them apart, they will not. They will go towards their destiny, which is made themselves. So even when you fall in love with somebody or you are attracted to somebody, how come others are not attracted to that person? How come one man is attracted to one particular woman and a particular woman is attracted to a particular man? And so strongly that they are, the word used is helpless, prakritir vashat, in the grip of their vasanas, in the grip of their desire. They are helpless. And that helplessness is something like when you want to sleep and then you fall asleep. Have you seen how helpless you are? You just leave the world, no matter how important the thing is. It is all left, and you suddenly go to sleep. You are pulled into sleep. You are sucked into sleep. That is what it is over here. So he says that the total mind, you know, uh, the creation takes place with his grace alone. This verse is saying, I again and again. So without him, of course, it cannot take place, right? But then over here, this is almost like he does everything, yet does nothing. Using your body, he does everything, yet he does nothing. We will do that in the next verse. But first, this one. So the creator creates with the help of the total mind, whatever the total mind desires and think. Now, he is also, he only does what you want. Now, for example, I'll give you the example of the sun. The sun is reflected in the entire world. Okay? The sun is reflected in the entire world. If it is a large water body, like a huge lake, how is the sun reflected? On every wave, it is shining like silver, right? That is the reflection of the sun. If it is in a small muddy pond, what is the reflection of the sun? It is dull. No reflection, hardly any reflection can be seen in that water, isn't it? In a bucket of water, it heats the water. There's such brightness because the water is clear that you cannot look at the water. That is the brightness of the sun. Okay. सीपी जानते, मदर ऑफ पर्ल में सन को देखा है रिफ्लेक्शन. इट इज लाइक सिल्वर, इट इज लाइक सिल्वर, है ना. अच्छा, मिरर में देखिए, mirror the because the mirror is so clear, the reflection of the sun, you cannot look at the mirror, you will be blinded because it is as good as looking at the sun. So, but what is the sun doing? Is the sun doing anything? Nothing. The sun is just present there. By his sheer presence, all these different kind of things are created. Different kinds of reflections are created on their own, depending on the reflection surface. That is what he's saying. And over here also, see, different vasanas create different body, mind, and intellect equipments. You are made to play out your desires. So, an intelligent professor will have a brilliant mind. A research scientist will have a sharp, very sharp mind and a desire to work endlessly towards his goal. Right? A weightlifter will have a strong body, bachpan se, a desire to lift heavy weights and win prizes. A dancer has to have a beautiful body and a supple body and a agile body and a desire. An actress, according to the roles she plays, she has to be that. A singer, everybody can't be a singer. I'm giving you these various different examples to tell you that your prime desire determines the kind of equipment you take. The power of dynamism being the same, just like the sun is the same for everyone, but the kind of reflections are different. Similarly, the Lord being the same, the Para Brahma giving the similar kind of dynamism to everybody, people act in different ways and have different situations in their lives according to their vasanas. Prakriti vashat, they will helplessly go towards that and they will helplessly do that. So then they are given fields of vasanas and they cannot help but express themselves in those very vasanas. The moment a conducive vasana comes across to you, supposing it is a singer and they find a good teacher or a good madhyam, they will begin singing and joyously, and they will continue singing, right? Similarly, you know, one person loves dancing, one loves swimming, somebody loves writing, somebody likes teaching, somebody likes musical instrument. तो जो कुछ भी आपको करना है जिंदगी में, you go towards that. He only lends his dynamism to you. Otherwise, see, every human body looks the same. Of course, some are beautiful, ugly, black, dark, yellow, brown, whatever, वो अलग चीज है. But I'm not talking about that. But your hands and feet and nose and lips and mouth and eyes, ears, they are all the same in everybody. So, what is the difference between a criminal and a saint? See, or for that matter, a drunkard and a decent nobleman. The difference is their mind. The difference is their vasanas. Otherwise, when a criminal and a saint are asleep, they look the same. When do you see the difference? When they wake up and they start acting. The saint cannot help acting in a saintly manner, and the criminal cannot help but commit crimes. Understood? They are energized or dynamized by the same power. That is what he's saying, that according to their Prakriti, I create them again and again and again. And after one particular period, he is using the word kalpa. So, एक बार एक particular age, an era, an eon is over, the whole thing dissolves back into Prakriti and then is created again, back again. Now come to the same. The dream is projected by the mind and everything plays out. And then the dream, where does it go? Back into the mind itself that had projected it. So that the projecting power, the dynamic power, is the one that creates and then withdraws, creates and withdraws. So it is just that. Now, oh, now so here let's come to the next verse. Ajay, he says over here, the law of karma is incontrovertible, as the action so the reaction. वो तो है ही. Accordingly you are born, accordingly you get your. How come some people are born very lucky? They are good looking, they are talented, they are skilled, they are intelligent, they are talented, they have very good education, they have a very good family, they have all the comforts in life. And some, we all know, somebody is born without hands, or somebody is born blind, somebody is born as a beggar. वो भी है. It is not the Lord who is partial or impartial. The sun cannot be partial or impartial. You will receive sunlight according to how you want it. If you close all your doors and windows and draw the curtains, where will sunlight come in? But if your house is well ventilated, all the doors and windows are open, the sun is helpless. It will come in just by its sheer nature, it will come in. So it is over here that cause and effect is the law of this world. I have again and again said that the seed that you sow, it is only that sprouts. It is a hardwired law. It is an iron casting law of the universe. This cause and effect, cause and effect. The cause is the same, the effect is the same thing as the cause in a different form. Carefully think about it. The effect is the same thing as the cause in a different form. But that you have to see, like the seed and the tree, the father and the son, or whatever else you go to this, you will find it. Now he says that how does the question that the student's mind is that if everything is under this effect of karma, or the action and then the reaction, So is the infinite also under this law? Does the infinite also get a result if he is creating? Now, creating is an action. So, if he creates, does he also get the result of that creation? That kind of question can come into the mind of any student. So, the answer over here is न च मां तानि कर्माणि निबध्नन्ति धनञ्जय उदासीन अवदासीनम् असक्तं तेषु कर्मसु. These acts do not bind me. Now, me here again, the Parabrahma. Parabrahma, the super truth of the world. So, these acts do not bind me, O Dhananjaya, sitting like one indifferent, unattached to these acts. Okay, ye dekho carefully. He is saying, he is calling Arjun Dhananjaya. पहले तो ये I have explained earlier also, explaining again. Dhananjaya was a title of Arjun which he got for creating wealth in the society, generating wealth in the society. Even today, your government gives awards, isn't it? Big business people, big rich industrialists who have created a lot of jobs and therefore are providing for so many families and all that and enriching the country, they are rewarded, isn't it? Government gives rewards for this kind of work. So Dhananjaya is his title. Now Arjun is called Dhananjaya. Huh? See, there are these misconceptions about Hinduism, that Hinduism says don't earn any money, money is useless, there is no use for money, this, that, and the other. No, Hinduism doesn't say that. Look at this title of Arjun. Also, Hinduism is probably the only religion in the world that has the goddess of wealth. There are many implications of that. I can't go into that just now. But they worship the goddess of prosperity, the goddess of wealth, who will bring plenty into their world and into their lives. So, here, don't ever say that Hinduism decries money or decries wealth. Everybody cannot be painted with the same brush. There are different kinds of people in the world. So those people who are renouncing the world for a different search, those people are asked to stay away from generating wealth, because that will take away all their time and effort. So in Hinduism, generally the householders provide money to such people to do their research. That is why sannyasis, research workers, great scholars are given stipends, or they are given patronage by people who can provide them the money to do their research work. Acha, so he says these acts do not bind me, O Dhananjay. The Lord is saying himself. Lord here is, again I repeat, not Krishna but Brahma. So the Brahma is saying that I am untarnished by this act of creation, because I create without a motive. Any action that has a motive will have a reaction. If you do not have a motive or an intention, there will be no reaction. Think carefully about that. A child who has learnt a new abuse in the school, he doesn't know the meaning of that abuse, but since he heard it, he thought that this is the way to speak. So he comes home and he abuses one of the members of the family. The family is shocked, but the family does not punish him, because the child has no intention of insulting or hurting. He does not even know the meaning of that abuse. He is only saying it because he has heard it somewhere and children imitate, and so there is no motive. So even the parents do not abuse the child, है ना? But see, Gurudev has given an example of a grown up son and a little baby. Dekho, as a little baby, when the mother or father is trying to feed him something he doesn't like to have, maybe medicine, the child starts kicking and screaming and hitting the parent. Now that is not an insult to the parent, that is just a protest. So the parent does not feel offended also. They just hold down his hands and catch him and give the medicine to him, isn't it? Now, the same son, if he is a grown up boy and he kicks his father, that is a motive orient, that is an ungrateful son, a son who disrespects his elders. And when he is doing something like that, that is unforgivable in the law of karma. He will reap the reaction of that because he knows that he is not supposed to do that. He knows that this is not done by a cultured grown up son whom the father has put in so much of effort, father and mother, to bring up, and yet he's kicking his father. So the same action of the boy, action is the same, kicking the parents, but a child doing it and the other one doing it, there is a difference. Okay. Similarly, I always give the example of a judge giving a death sentence to a criminal. He has no motive. He has no personal grudge against the criminal. He does not want anything from the criminal. He doesn't even want to take revenge. He is defending the society from a criminal, so he is giving a death sentence. It is not a murder. But a man who goes and shoots somebody, as they do in some countries these days, we hear innocent people, you just go and shoot and kill or stab or murder or whatever. That is an intentional crime and that is bound to have a result. Even law punishes or does not punish according to the motive of the doer. The court of law also follows this principle. Now, you will see over here, so the action flows automatically. It does not have a reaction. It will not. Huh? Now, see, this again, to give you an example of the sun. The sun does not have a motive, but it causes, by its mere presence, it is causing action. It causes the nourishment of the plants. It causes rain. It causes sea water to rise. It causes nutrition in the plants. It causes nutrition in the earth itself. But is the sun doing anything? The sun doesn't want to do anything. But that is the very nature of the sun, and that is playing out. Acha. Now then, see the reaction. The seed that you sow in the earth, it is getting the same nutrition from the earth, the same mud, the same water, the same sunshine. But different plants and trees come out of different kinds of seeds according to their potential, not according to the earth and the sun and the rain. You cannot blame the, देखो, अगर आम का पेड़ है या करेले का पौधा है, साइड बाय साइड दे आर, सो द सेम मिट्टी है ना, द सेम अर्थ, द सेम सन एंड द सेम वाटर, but the mango seed will produce a mango tree and then a sweet ripe mango with a fragrance and a flavor and sweetness, whereas karela or the bitter gourd will produce a different fruit, a different nutrition, a different flavor, and a different taste, and it will be bitter. The place is the same, what they eat and usurp is the same, but according to the seed is the potentiality that comes out. So, reaction of an action comes according to the quality of your action. Whatever is the motive of your action, whatever is the quality of the action, that kind of reaction comes to you. And another example I can give you is, which Gurudev used to give very often, is of the car and the petrol, which I've given before also many times. The car is an engine. What he says over here, that without me, nothing can happen. He says, see, sitting like one indifferent, unattached to those acts. He is acting, and without him, nothing can take place. But he is acting and he's saying nothing can take place without me. But what is happening? Is he punished for that? Can you blame him for that? No. So the car cannot move without the petrol. The car cannot reach its destination without the petrol. Similarly, the car cannot hit an accident without the petrol. But if it reaches its destination safely, do you congratulate the petrol? True that without petrol it cannot reach there. But then who is congratulated? The driver who is driving the car. The action belongs to the driver. The dynamism belongs to the petrol, but the petrol is unmotivated. The driver is the motivational force. Now, if that same car goes and hits an accident, yes, without the petrol, the accident wouldn't have happened. True. Can you blame the petrol? No. The petrol is innocent of the accident. Who is to be blamed? The driver. Because of his careless usage of that car, that accident has taken place. ठीक है ना? बनाया सब कुछ भगवान ने है. The Lord has created a gun, but he has also given the man the dynamism to pull the trigger. But whether you kill a criminal with it or you kill an innocent man with it is not the Lord's doing. That is your choice. Therefore, you are the one who will get the result from that choice. So all actions are here nourished by him, but he is not responsible for those actions. Okay. And then he is engrossed. This is a very beautiful example. Uh, Krishna is the Parabrahma. He stands and only plays the flute. The flute is activating the gopis. Krishna is not dancing, he stands in the center and plays the flute. But the gopis run from their homes and come, and they are the ones who are dancing, enchanted by that music. The dance is their own desire. It is Krishna is not bothered. He's just standing there in the center playing the flute. Right? So this is what he says over here, that he is not bound by those acts. He says, like one indifferent, unattached to those acts. He cannot. So, देखो, the sunlight will illuminate everything. Whether you are murdering, or you are singing, or you are dancing, you are creating a noble act. Whatever is happening, the sun is illuminating it. Without true that without the sun you cannot see anything. But whatever is happening is your own doing. The sun is not doing anything. So pure consciousness illumines the vasanas and lends the dynamism to the body, mind, and intellect to act. But what you act is according to your motivational force, according to your vasanas, and according to your desires. So you cannot blame the Lord कि सब भगवान करता है, हाँ करता है, पर he gives you the energy to do, not the motivation to do. That is your own. Okay. So we stop here. Next time we'll do that. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम।